Hello everyone, I'm Lorene Tabudlong and I'm I'm one of the representatives of Group 11 and this time I'm going to discuss about formation of hydrologic cycle. So many processes work together to keep Earth's water moving in a cycle. And there are 5 processes at work in the hydrologic cycle. First is condensation. Second is precipitation. Next, infiltration, runoff, and evapotranspiration. Okay, so I think this will be so much familiar with you guys because basically it talks about just like water cycle. So next. Okay, so just like this one, the water cycle. So let's discuss the 5. Let's discuss the 5 processes. So together, these 5 processes, condensation, precipitation, infiltration, runoff, and evapotranspiration, make up the hydrologic cycle. Water vapor condenses to form clouds, which result in precipitation when the conditions are suitable. Precipitation falls to the surface and infiltrates the soil or flows to the ocean as runoff. Surface water example like lakes, streams, oceans, etc. Evaporates, returning moisture to the atmosphere, while plants return water to the atmosphere by transpiration. So let's discuss kanang mas hapsay siya isa-isa. First is condensation. Condensation is the process of water changing from a vapor to a liquid. Water vapor in the air rises mostly by convection. This means that warm, humid air will rise, while cooler air will flow downward. As the warmer air rises, the water vapor will lose energy, causing its temperature to drop. So the water vapor then has a change of state into liquid ice. For example, like this one. So you can see condensation in action whenever you take a cold soda kaning can from the refrigerator and set it in a room. Notice how the outside of the soda can sweats. The water doesn't come from inside the can, it comes from the water vapor in the air. As the air cools around the can, water droplets form. So, na-notice mo na to, whenever we karang natin ko on bottle or can or ilim or alcohol whatsoever sa ref. So, pag ibutan natin siya sa room, mura siya magsingot, magtulo. So it's not because of the water inside, it's because of the environment. So just like this one, warm air rises, cool air condenses into clouds. Precipitation. Precipitation is water being released from clouds as rain, sleet, snow, or hail. Precipitation begins after water vapor, which has condensed in the atmosphere, becomes too heavy to remain in the atmospheric air currents and falls. So muna na siya itong ulan, makita tagkarang, oy dag-um, anak, so ulan. That means murag, it's not murag, that means kanang ang clouds is karang nabugatan na siya. So mag-release siya by the form of kanang rain or snow. So under some circumstances, precipitation actually evaporates before it reaches the surface. More often, though, precipitation reaches the Earth's surface, adding to the surface water in streams and lakes or infiltrating the soil to become groundwater. A portion of the precipitation that reaches the Earth's surface seeps into the ground through the process called infiltration. So dira na mo na tong next process, which is infiltration. The amount of water that infiltrates the soil varies with the degree of land slope, the amount and type of vegetation, soil type, and rock type, and whether the soil is already saturated by water. The more openings in the surface, like cracks, pores, or joints, the more infiltration occurs. So water that doesn't infiltrate the soil flows on the surface as runoff. So next is runoff. So kanang kung di ko siya ma-infiltrate sa soil, wala siyang ginatawag nga runoff. Just like, for example, kanang paddle sa semento. But there are some instances nga kanang masuyop man gyapon siya sa semento. But karang di na siya ma-infiltrate sa soil, muna na siya ang runoff. Are, infiltration, precipitation that reaches the surface of the earth but does not infiltrate the soil is called runoff. So runoff can also come from melted snow and ice. When there is a lot of precipitation, soils become saturated with water. Additional rainfall can no longer enter it. Runoff will eventually drain into creeks, streams, and rivers. Adding a large amount of water to the flow. Surface water always travels towards the lowest point possible, usually the oceans. Along the way, some water evaporates, percolates into the ground, or is used for agricultural or residential or industrial purposes. Now let's go to evapotranspiration. Evapotranspiration is water evaporating from the ground and transpiration by plants. Evapotranspiration is also the way water vapor re-enters the atmosphere. So just like this one, as you can see, karang mo siya fog, but actually that is process of evapotranspiration. So just like this one, parang naka 100% na bitaw. Parang nag-boil kag water tapos nag-boil na siya. So kanang aso niya, muna siyang evaporation. Evaporation occurs when radiant energy from the sun heats water, causing the water molecules to become so active that some of them rise into the atmosphere as vapor. Okay. So, nakoy isa na ingon, which is transpiration. And yeah, I guess this might be also important to know. Transpiration occurs when plants take in water through the roots and release it through the leaves, a process that can clean water by removing contaminants and pollution. So, whenever we see kanang mga plants, no, especially kanang mga plantitas and plantitos, kanang someone who really admires kanang magtanom. And then as kanang makita na to ang ilang garden, so we feel so calm. Yes. So ang leaves mo gud nila is naga-remove ang contaminants and pollution, which is naga-clean po siya sa tubig. So that's good to know. That's good to know and to share. So this one, precipitation, evaporation sa soil, pagawas, then transpiration kaning sa yung leaves. Okay, that is transpiration. So now let's move on. So as you can see, many processes are at work to give you the water you need. And these processes are always at work. Just because Antarctica is frozen doesn't mean that evaporation is not taking place. Ice can turn directly to water vapor by a process called sublimation. And because the Sahara Desert is so dry doesn't mean that precipitation is not happening. It evaporates before it makes it to the ground. So, yeah. So, for example, pag maingatag kanang kanang nagaboil lang, so sa init sa desert lang kay anak kay mag-boil na heat ang sana na ang the touches ang heat sa wait. Okay, I'm sorry for that. So Sahara Desert is so dry, doesn't mean that precipitation is not happening. So, for example, kanang makita nyo mo sa K-drama nga kanang magstorya sila na aso-aso lang ba. Okay. So you can also think of that as evaporate because nag-evaporate sila hangin. Yeah. So is that something that is kanang nag-usok good, but pero because of karang cold o karang because of heat, because kanang aso or abo ay kanang nasunog kag sagbot. No, it's not like that. So yeah, that's all for my report, and the rest ako mga group mates na ang mag-discuss. So together with Kuya and Ate Malu. So thank you guys for listening, and I hope you all have a good day. Thank you.